So earlier, about 15 minutes or so, Lunchbox told the story of him going to a restaurant. He ordered a salad. His wife ordered a burger. They put the burger in front of him and the salad in front of her. I say, as someone who has waited tables, they probably shouldn't have done that, but he shouldn't have punished her by not tipping her or tipping her less.
Tipping her less, yes.
Without even telling her why.
Right. So we talked about it. We took a break to do Tell Me Something Good because I figured that would kind of calm things down a little bit, pour water on the fire. It did not. We have a lot of calls over here.
Oh.
So before we get to the news, here is Ashley in Augusta, Georgia. Ashley, thank you for calling the show. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, studio. How
Morning.
are you doing?
We're good.
I was just calling to disagree with Lunchbox because I, too, was a server for a very long time. And I one time had this experience where I was really rude to a table, and instead of punishing me, she pulled me to the side and talked to me and explained why I was rude, and she still tipped me well, and that made me want to change more because when people didn't tip me, I was like, whatever, I don't care, you're not tipping me anyway.
That's a great point that I didn't bring up earlier. One of the best tips I ever got was when I spilled a tray of drinks on a table. And the guy tipped me big time and was like, hey, don't feel bad. And I was so delicate with these trays. I was just, walking in, my trays all cocky before then. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this again. These poor people. But I think that's a great point. Also, let me say this. Went to dinner last night. I just thought about this. Caitlin and I did. And I order a mocktail. I used to call it a virgin, but now I think the terminology is now mocktail. So I order this mocktail, and they bring it over, and they put it in front of Caitlin.
Oh, because it was definitely probably considered girly.
Uh-huh. And
Did you get offended?
Nope, I liked it.
You're like, okay, slide it on over, Caitlin.
And I had hers just act like it was hers for a minute because that was kind of embarrassing to me. Yeah, that's a good point, Ashley. I like that. Lunchbox, anything you want to say about that?
Look, I can't believe she's not on my side as a waiter or waitress. You need to know that you can't offend your customers, and you should be, what do you say, to their feelings. You got to be sensitive to their feelings, and that's just offensive. Can't assume a woman eats a salad.
Well, you shouldn't assume, but I don't think it was, let's hold back her insurance payment for next year that she's trying to make.
Right. But also I think the point of the caller is that, yeah, you should have still tipped her and then taken her to the side and said, hey, this is probably something that you want to consider next time you're taking food to the table.
Could have over-tipped her and really left a message
and
with
then
her.
She would have walked away learning something instead of just being irritated that she got under-tipped.
Andrea in Nashville, you are on the Bobby Bones Show. What do you want to say about this situation?
Good morning. Morning, studio.
Morning.
So I partially, and I say partially, agree with Lunchbox.
Yes.
My husband and I definitely fall into that stereotype where he is one of the biggest carnivores you will ever meet, no pun intended, and I eat a lot of vegetables and poultry, so we definitely fall into that stereotype. So, however, I do agree that it's not fair or right that the server automatically made that assumption, and that's the difficulty with unconscious biases. Sometimes we do things automatically without even thinking. So I do partially agree with him that it's important to not make those assumptions. But I also agree with Amy that it was important to help graciously share with her that, to make improvements in the future and not just automatically dock her pay. But I do understand that, the only way that we can learn is to have things pointed out to us. And so I think that if there was a way to graciously talk with her about that, so that's why I do partially agree with Lunchbox, but definitely also see the other side of it.
Andrea, thank you for your call.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too. So what Lunchbox did is tip her less and then didn't tell her.
Exactly.
Double wrong.
My heart says he was just trying to save money.
Mm-hmm. He's like, yes, I got a way to say, yeah.
That's what my heart tells me.
I hear you on that.
I can't prove it. I'm not inside of his brain.
Right. I was just sticking up for the ladies.
Okay. My heart says he was trying to save money, but you...
Yeah, the ladies want to eat a burger. I'm okay with them eating a burger. I don't want them to be stereotyped and judged. And
everybody wants everybody to be able
Or
to eat
was
burgers.
it that you were you felt like you were maybe being judged for getting a salad?
Okay. Thank you all for your calls. This is also you holding something against... she was like, this guy's a terrible tipper. Probably told her friends. Lunchbox is a terrible tipper.
Yeah, but then she probably heard this. She's like, yeah, man, I need to quit assuming things, and it makes me look bad, so I'll step up my game.
All right. Let's go over and do the news. Thank you, guys.
Bobby's Big
Story.
A man bowls a perfect game with a ball that contained his father's ashes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
39-year-old John Hinkle of Illinois paid tribute to his deceased father by bowling a perfect 300 game using a ball that contained some of his dad's ashes. He is a two-time NCAA bowling champion for Western Illinois University. He said that his father introduced him and his brother to bowling. He said his two-handed bowling technique means he's only allowed 2 fingers in his ball, so he had a thumb hole, and he filled that with some of his father's ashes, and he bowled a perfect game.
Wow. That's cool.
If they don't make that for Disney Plus, I'm going to be
How
upset.
does he not? How does he hold a? He doesn't have to stick his thumb in.
He
I
said
guess
he did 2 hands.
I get-
I do that, but that's called grandma bowl.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I see people do that at the bowling alley.
Does he also put the rails up like I do?
The bumpers.
He kind of does it from the side the same way, but he uses that front hand to
Gotcha.
hold it.
And then probably spins it.
And then spins it. Yeah.
Okay.
More news.
Bobby's Other Big
Story.
A couple holds their wedding at a mansion they thought was vacant. They did not expect to find the owner there. A couple in Florida planned their wedding last week at an amazing mansion they thought it was vacant. They got there, the owner was home and called the cops. The people at the wedding wound up leaving. No charges were filed. I just don't have the courage to try something. If there's a seat up in one of the front rows of a concert
You're not
and it's
doing
just
it?
empty, no, I've done it a couple times, and the whole time I'm looking around like, that usher knows.
Major anxiety.
It ruins the whole concert
Yeah.
for me. I can't imagine going into an empty mansion. Every car that comes by, that's an undercover cop. I can't believe they did this. On Saturday, a guy named Courtney Wilson and a woman named Shanetta Jones, they were getting married. They threw their wedding at this mansion with a pool, a gazebo, tennis courts, hot tub, 800-foot bar. There was just one problem. They didn't actually book the mansion. It's not a wedding venue. The guy who owns it had been trying to sell it for 2 years for $5.7 million. She, as a he, toured the place while pretending to want to buy it and then said, hey, can we just have our wedding here? And they was like, no. So, since no one lived there, they went ahead and thought, why don't we have our wedding here? They put the address on the invitations. They were going to have the entire wedding weekend there.
That's
How-
crazy.
Gutsy.
How crazy that they think they could pull this off. Even when people started showing up, they were like, we got this. But then the owner was there. And then they had to send people home. That had to be embarrassing for them.
For sure.
Unless they clued everybody in, like, hey, play it cool. If the owner comes out, play it cool.
Yeah, how does the owner come out and tell everyone, like, you got to go. You
Like
can't stay here.
Does he walk out in his robe? Like he just walk, "Huh, what are you guys doing here?
You guys got to get out.
No charges were filed, but I cannot believe they tried that. Had they pulled it off, it'd have been awesome. What a TikTok, am I right? All right, one more story. Police say a hospital employee was continually paid a monthly salary amounting to the total of $646,000, even though he wasn't going to work for 15 years.
What?
Crazy.
Ha! He's now age 67. He faces abuse of office, forgery, aggravated extortion. 6 managers are also being investigated on suspicion of having played a role in enabling this absenteeism.
What? How did he?
Absenteeism, excuse me. What?
Was he giving them a cut? Like, why in the world would somebody help? Give him a salary when he wasn't showing up.
In an investigation codenamed Part-Time, police gathered their evidence from attendance and salary records, as well as witness statements. In 2005, the man is alleged to have made threats against the hospital director to stop her from filing a disciplinary report. The director then retired, and he just continued. They just kept paying him. People kept vouching for him.
That's like the guy from Office Space.
$646,000 over 15 years. Crazy. They finally caught him. He probably thought he was home free.
Oh, for sure.
He's probably partying with those mansion goers. Like, we got this all figured out. This is easy. That's the news. Thank you.
Bobby's Big
Story.
Tenille Arts, Somebody Like That. We're playing that for you now. Bobby Bones Show. Call us if you want. 877-77-BOBBY. That's the phone number. Here's Tenille Arts.
get your Bobby Bones on. Bobby Bones, yo.
I went to the doctor yesterday. It was the kind of doctor I'd never been to before. Dramatic results. I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
And then I was just in my bed and I saw something on the internet about one of you people last night
What?
that I laughed out loud at.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll do all that next segment. Coming back in a second. for a couple of years, I've been having stomach issues where I just eat and I'm extremely bloated. Not just full, but I'm just like, oh, I can't even move. And my stomach hurts, and sometimes I go to the bathroom for like 4 days. It is a weird cycle that I've been in, but it's not something severe. And growing up, I have been trained to not go to the doctor unless you have to, because we couldn't afford to go to the doctor. Now, that's not the case anymore. Sometimes I have to remind myself I'm not the same person I was when I was a kid. And I think a few months of whining about it, Caitlin's like, go to the doctor. I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I got to go sit everybody get to wear masks, and they have to check your temperature, and they do the thing in your... So there's just a lot of stuff happening. But I go, fine. I've never been to a gastro doctor in my life. And I go and I sit there and fill out the paperwork, get the little iPad that everybody's put their grubby hands on, and type in my insurance. And it's like, here you go. And they call me into the room, and I'm embarrassed because I don't want to talk about my stomach issues or me going to the bathroom in front of somebody. I don't like talking about that stuff. And so doctor comes in. She has a great, bedside manner. I'm not in a bed.
I was just about to say, was it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Okay, it's a girl.
She's funny. Mm-hmm. That's what I needed.
She's making you laugh?
A funny gastroenterologist?
Yeah, she was just, I would say she was light. Mm-hmm. She was like, so what's the problem? We're talking about it. And she's like, what side of this stomach? Going through. And she's like, hey, just so you know, we may have to do a
colonoscopy.
A colonoscopy.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, just so you know, I don't like the idea of that. And so she's like, okay, well, let's talk about this for a second. So
Which, for people that don't know, is sticking
it's
a
tube
camera.
up the butt!
Well, with a camera attached to it.
And there's a camera?
Yes!
No, Bones. It's just a tube for fun.
I thought they were just feeling it out.
No, the point is to take a picture so the doctor can have a visual of your insides.
Well, regardless, I don't want anything up there yet. And she goes, you're not old enough for us to recommend it every year. It's 50 and for some groups, it's 45 for others. And she says, it's not celiac. It's probably not celiac. She said, this isn't universal, but I've only ever diagnosed white women with celiac disease. She goes, I've never had a guy have it, so I don't think it's that. Went through some stuff, and I told her all the symptoms. I'm kind of embarrassed because she's like, tell me about your bathroom. I'm like, hee. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, tell me about when. I'm kind of embarrassed. And so she goes, well, I think you have IBS.
Oh, wow.
Which is irritable bowel syndrome. Mm-hmm. I always thought that was just an itchy butt, honestly. I guess I thought that was itchy butt syndrome.
Because it's irritable.
Yeah.
Oh, literally that's what the IBS stood for?
Uh-huh. Like itchy butt.
Okay.
And
all
so,
right.
again, I'm like, oh, no. She goes, well, it's very difficult to actually tell you exactly what's wrong because this could be anything. Food, anxiety. And so she says, I'm going to give you this medicine here. Let's try it. It's a low dose and see what happens. She goes, well, don't take this medicine, though, until you have a couple days.
What orifice does that medicine go through?
It goes in the throat.
Okay.
It's oral.
Yeah, it's a pill.
Okay.
And she goes, don't take this medicine until you have some time because it's gonna be bad.
Oh, it's gonna be bad on the other end.
Yeah, she used the word explosive.
Oh,
Right.
my. Oh, my.
But for me, this is what I think. It's how I live my life. If something's gonna be bad, I'm gonna start on it right now so it's over quicker. I'm not gonna put it off. So I get home and I tell Caitlin. And the thing about it is, I really don't like farts or poop or anything like that. Caitlin has no problem with it. She's just like, that's part of life. It is what it is.
She's
so
mature
adult,
about it.
I know. And so she's like, hey, well, we're fine. We're going to get through this. And she's like, don't take the pill, though, right now, because you need a couple days, like the doctor said. I said, but if I get started now, I can get through this first few days of the pill, and it normalizes a bit. She goes, don't take it now. So we're about to go to dinner. We had a date night last night, and I snuck the pill.
Oh,
I took the
boy.
pill.
Oh, man.
Why would you do that before
Because
dinner?
I just
You
told
wanted to get it over with.
Right, and I didn't think it would set in 10 minutes.
I know, but Caitlin just spoke really wise words into you, and you didn't listen.
You've spoke wise words to me many times, and how many times do I listen? Not very often, right?
Yeah, it's almost like you just do the opposite because you have oppositional defiance disorder or something.
We call that stubborn. Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So I take the pill, and I don't say anything about it really. And at dinner, I'm like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel good. She goes, you take the pill?
Is it grumbling?
Oh, it was running on a treadmill.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. She was like, you take the pill? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, no. So she goes, okay, well, we finished dinner. I have to go to the bathroom twice.
Oh, good. Okay.
Finished dinner, but the whole time, I'm doing an ab workout, squeezing my abs. It's like, oh, no. We get in the car, we fly home. Had some time at home. It's bad. And so, but she's great. She's not rubbing it in that she told me not to take the pill. And I finally had a little time. Eventually, let me just say this. You're just exhausted. There's just no more. You run out, right?
The pill did its work.
You just run out.
Yeah.
And so it was like 9 o'clock or maybe 8:45 or so. And two things. I'm going to do a scratch off to kind of take my mind off because I'm trying to see how much money I lose before I win something on these stupid scratch offs. And so I put on my Instagram live. And I'm like, what's up, guys? And I do like a little talk show. I'm talking about what happened to the doctor a little bit. I'm talking about Dan and Shay, how they were mistreated after the ACM awards. And Jackie's on. I guess she saw this too. Hey, Jackie in North Carolina, you were watching my Instagram live last night?
I was.
And what do you want to know?
3-year-old little daughter. Well, I saw that your dog had jumped on the counter and got your pills, and I wanted to know what happened and if your dog was okay.
So,
There's more to this?
Our dog Eller, she doesn't grab stuff to just grab it and eat it. Like, she's just curious and wants to tear everything up. So it was in a bag, in a box, in a bottle, and the pills. She got to the bag, the boxes, she opened the bottle somehow, and we don't know where the pills went.
Oh, no.
So we're like, no! So here I am, and there she is, and we're like, uh-oh, are you going to do this too? So all night last night, I think 3-4 times, got up and checked on her. I think she's okay. So I did have to shut down the stream. I finished scratching the ticket, but then I shut down the stream, and we went, and she's okay this morning. I left, she was okay. Caitlin just posted a picture on her Instagram, the 2 dogs hanging out together. So that's okay. But then I just couldn't sleep last night. And this is where I transition a bit to the next thing. Which, by the way, how entertaining is that story?
That's great.
Thank you.
It's great.
It's not fun for me yesterday. Feeling okay today. I'm not taking another pill until this weekend. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, you're going to wait.
I'm going to wait. So I get on, and I'm just bored. I can't sleep. My stomach's grumbling. And I get online. I'm like, you know what? I haven't looked at in a while. Ray's cameos. And I go over, and I'm watching a cameo Ray did for somebody where it's their birthday, but Ray starts to try to sell them his shirt on a cameo they paid for.
Oh, boy.
He has some clothing line, and he's promoting his clothing line to sell them after they paid him to do a cameo. Here's a clip of somebody paying Ray $31 to do a cameo, and this is what he says in it.
Thank you so much, you guys, for listening to the show. Glad you guys are big fans. My go-to is and now there's shirts, and I think they're coming out. Shameless plug.
Very not shameless. That was terrible.
A couple weeks. We'll get the website for you guys.
Yeah.
He's selling shirts on a cameo they paid for.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was bad. My wife put me in check, though. God bless her.
Yeah. So so on Cameo, you can go to Ray's page and watch any cameo he's made.
That's what I do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought those are sent like privately, but I guess
You can watch them all.
Oh, cool.
I binge watch them. It's my new favorite. Until Cobra Kai comes back out, I'm watching Ray's cameos. And then at the end of it, he lies on how to get out of these cameos. Play the clip of what you said to get out of this cameo.
Cesar Raimundo and Baser, West Side of Nashville. We got to go, though. Bones is coming over. Lunch is coming over. We're going to grill and celebrate Tommy and Katie.
Ready?
Yeah! Happy anniversary.
We weren't coming over.
Dang it!
Anyway.
Yeah, but that is a cool part of the message. Like, then they feel
like that's happening.
Yes, and that
they were sold a shirt and sold a bill of goods that wasn't true.
that y'all were coming over to celebrate them.
Funny though, I guess we did buy a cameo from you.
Yeah.
Caitlin did for my birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
How are that? You still got a bunch of them lined up?
Yeah, we're way too stacked up, honestly. I almost need a duplicate of me and Bay as well. We don't have enough time.
Raise the price, bruh. Supply and demand.
Well, I also want to keep it under what a person earns for a day. I don't want $100. You got to work 2 days.
I didn't say 100.
Yeah.
You're at 31. If you have so many, you can bump it up 35.
Yeah, I just feel like that's just such a hard thing. 31 seems like a subscription. Hulu, Paramount Plus, all that stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing it, or what's it? No, it's like okay.
I don't have the time right now. Not for me. Maybe in the future. If this starts to not be what it is.
Oh, raise the price, bro.
Yeah, maybe if this starts to not be what it is.
Yeah, back up.
Yeah. They're funny though, Ray.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're funny. Do we want to play the song, or do we have time to play the song? No? Scuba waved me off. Don't play the song. Quick. Tomorrow, let me say this. We have a couple things going on. Justin Moore will be on performing. I'm going to say it now. We have a world premiere of a new song from Bobby Bones and the Raging Idiots with John Party. We did a song together.
Guys, it's a good one.
It is a good one.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be tomorrow. On Monday, Alan Jackson will be on the show. So I know that's no Raging Idiots premiere.
That's quite different.
That is good. Call us if you want, 877-77-Bobby. The dog is okay, Jackie. Thank you for asking. We'll be right back. go over to Heather in South Carolina, who, I was talking earlier about Eller, our dog that we've just adopted, and she likes to run on the treadmill. And she can jump off if she wants, but she likes to run on it. And when we stop it, she just lays on it and whines. And so it's up on my Instagram, Mr. Bobby Bones. Heather, what did you want to say about that? Because people were giving me a hard time about it.
Yeah, they definitely should not be giving you a hard time. I'm actually a dog runner in South Carolina. That's my business, running rovers. But I'll take them outside. But there is actually a company, I believe it's in Arizona, that is a dog running company, and they have a van that's outfitted with 2 treadmills in the back. And they basically come to your house, sit in your driveway. The dogs come out and run on the treadmill while they sit there and monitor them, which is kind of cool. But also, like Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer dude, he has like 10 treadmills at his compound that the dogs take turns running and walking on, because some dogs just need that extra exercise, and walking is not enough. So if you're monitoring her, go for it.
Yeah, we don't just go, hey, go on up and do some runs. We'll catch you back in an hour. We're up there with her.
Yeah.
People were jumping all over me. Again, it's on my Instagram, Mr. Bobby Bones, if you want to see it. Dustin Lynch, Mama's House here. And thank you for that call, Heather. And if any of you guys out there, we consider you friends, part of the team. You have a question, a comment, call us. 877-77-BOBBY. Thank you, thank you. Do you want me to book this person as a guest?
Come on.
His name is Dean Norris. He played Hank on Breaking Bad, the bald brother-in-law.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The DEA agent.
Yes, his brother-in-law.
He has a show now or something.
Yes,
called
it's a new sitcom, I think.
United States of Al or something.
Yeah, that's it. How'd
Is
you know
it?
that?
I don't because I've seen the commercial. I haven't
Okay.
seen it.
So they said, hey, do you want to talk to Dean Norris? And I just wanted to run it by you guys. Vote. Yes or no? 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
Will he talk about Breaking Bad, Scuba Steve?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, there's no off limits. We're going to do whatever we want to do.
Okay, next week we'll come on.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I'll book it.
Well, Dean Norris. We vote yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That'd be awesome.
Listen to this story. I read this last night. I believe there's being faithful, loving your faith, and also being foolish. You tell me where this falls. I know where you're going to tell me because I read it and couldn't believe it. There is a monk in Thailand who chopped off his own head as a way to bring him luck in the afterlife.
Oh, yeah, no. That's.
This 68-year-old who had been a monk for 11 years built a guillotine and left behind a note. It said that he had done the act on his birthday and that hopefully the sacrifice would allow him to reincarnate as a higher being. Boy, that guillotine, I see that, and I'm like, it ain't for me. That guillotine's tough.
What's the guillotine?
You pull the
You
string
put
and the
the-
blade comes
yeah.
out. Boom!
Oh, no.
You put your head in there and.
Crazy.
That's like old day stuff.
In response, the National Office of Buddhism urged local officials to clarify that giving money or freeing captive birds can be done instead as a spiritual sacrifice.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Uh-huh.
The birds.
To have to pull your own guillotine. But back in the day, that's how they did people off. They said, "Okay, get in the machine." And you walked, and they said, "You committed a crime. Let's cut your hand off for stealing."
And then the whole town acted like it was a Super Bowl, and they watched.
Crazy. I read that last night. It made me uncomfortable. I wanted you guys to be uncomfortable too.
Thank you.
I didn't want to be alone in that. Let's see. Sue in Texas, you're on the Bobby Bone Show. Thank you for calling. What would you like to say?
Hey, good morning. I was listening to Lunchbox's comment about the waiter and waitress at the restaurant, and I have a question for him. How would he feel if the listeners got to choose his pay if he offended someone? So they got to deduct a little bit of pay if he offended someone to teach him a lesson.
It's a great call.
No, it's really a dumb call if you think about it. I mean, it's just absolutely dumb because then we could go around and just judge everyone and pay them based on that. No, they are in a job where they are paid based on what they do and provide. That is the industry they chose. So when they do that job, they need to be on their P's and Q's and do it right.
She was just asking about how would you feel about it.
Oh, I'd be fine.
Yeah,
I'd be
it's like
fine
a
because there's a lot of people.
hypothetical.
There are a lot of people that aren't snowflakes and will tip me more and would be bored.
When
with,
have you started using the word snowflake
Never
ever
heard
in your
of it.
life?
even
Not
mean?
once.
No, because someone
Like
on Twitter called me a snowflake. So I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of a funny term. And so, yeah, so there's a lot of people that aren't snowflakes that see it my way. And so I would probably make more money than I do now.
Oh, okay. I
Possibly.
mean, yeah, he does have some.
You've got
Loyal.
hardcore followers.
Yeah.
Thank you for your call, Sue. Appreciate that.
She'd probably be one of my biggest contributors.
I think people can like you a lot and not agree with you all the time. That happens to me. I think people listen to the show. Hopefully they like me, and they don't have to agree all the time. Your best friend, you don't agree with your best friend all the time. No chance. There is no chance you agree with your best friend about everything they say.
That's a good point. I don't even agree with my wife a lot of times.
That's what I'm saying.
That is your best friend.
And so
Oh,
for
yeah.
me
Or
to
your
come on,
partner.
and for me to come on and go, boy, I just hope I say everything right and people agree with me all the time. That would be stupid of me. It's stupid of radio people to think that. I'm just going to walk down the line and hopefully everybody likes me all the time. Because if people like you all the time, then you're just, although Nilla wafers are pretty good, you're just a Nilla wafer, and nobody loves you as their favorite. Like it's okay to be human. I know I come on sometimes and say stuff that people go, I don't like that. But I'm supposed to do that because then at least you know I'm honest when I say things that you do like. Home Alone's not a Christmas movie. Get over
boy,
it,
here
folks.
we go.
Well, it is.
You just
but-
lost a
There
tip.
goes your tip.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.